healing journey. But it's just not about my physical body, or it's not that my physical body is the only thing that needs healing. In fact, it's the other parts, the emotional, mental bodies, that need healing most, or first, because healing the emotional and the mental body will help me heal my physical body. You've probably heard about mind-body-spirit connection, or just a mind-body connection. And it's true that health issues are often caused by that body-mind connection, or emotional and body connection. So if we leave out the body-mind-spirit, right, the spirit component, because that's ever present anyway, and it's all energy, we're talking about three bodies: mental, emotional, and physical. Whatever ails you physically, it's my belief, probably is occurring on a mental, in the mental and the emotional body as well. Now, I've known this for years, but about 2 years ago, I started having problems with my thyroid. And so I began to look into, okay, so, and they wanted to put me on thyroid medicine, my doctor, and actually 2 doctors. And I didn't want to do that yet. I wasn't ready. And I said, I know this is an emotional issue. And so I began to look into it. And I saw that energetically, the thyroid is linked to the throat chakra, because the thyroid sits here. And so it's related to the throat chakra, which is the area of self-expression and personal power. If you look in Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Body, which you've never looked at that, I highly recommend you do. So if you look there, she equates thyroid issues to some emotional issues like humiliation, the feeling of humiliation, the feeling of I never get to do what I want to do, and when is it my turn? An underactive thyroid, which is what I have, can also be related to giving up and hopelessness and feeling stifled. It's about a lack of feeling like you can't express yourself freely. And blocks with creativity. Well, this general stuck sense that can come with thyroid issues, definitely I related. And there were other things I read, like about resentment and frustration. And yeah, I was like, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me for sure. I know what's going on. And so, like I said, I wanted to avoid taking any medication, especially a thyroid medication. And I told my doctor, I said, I want to work on this. He's an osteopath. And I said, I want to work on this on the emotional level. I really believe that the issue is not a physical one. I wasn't really having a lot of physical symptoms other than some weight gain with the thyroid issue. And he was like, cool, go do that and let me know how it works. So I went on my way, and then about a year later, or maybe it was less, maybe it was 6 or 9 months later, I had blood work done again and was told that my cholesterol had gone up. And they noticed some issues around my kidneys that they were a little concerned about at that time, but not super concerned. But the cholesterol was an issue, and I didn't want to go on cholesterol medicine. I looked up cholesterol. It's about clogged channels of joy and fear of accepting joy. And yeah, I was like, okay, not enough joy in my life for sure. So now I have more emotional issues to deal with. And I thought, I don't know how long it's going to take me to clear those out. So I decided to take the thyroid medicine while I worked on all the emotional stuff. And I could always wean myself off the thyroid medicine later. So, I did therapy, and I enrolled in personal and spiritual growth programs and got readings from psychics and all of that, but went on the thyroid medicine. And the thyroid, of course, balanced out with the meds. I was able to drop my cholesterol back to almost normal. So I was like, okay, something's working. I did change my diet some too. But I could see that something was working, even though I was on the thyroid meds. It seemed like some other things were equalizing. And then they told me that my kidney tests were not good. The blood work was worse. And so now I had that, and I looked that up: criticism, disappointment, failure, shame. I was like, plus just, think about kidneys. I'd been pissed off about one thing for a very long time. So I was like, no wonder, right? And so I went for an ultrasound and to a nephrologist, and the only thing that was wrong was the blood work. Nobody could find anything wrong with me. So I knew I still needed to release whatever it was underlying these physical issues. So I called my or made an appointment with my integrative medicine doctor, who I hadn't seen her in a number of years. She had moved away, but she is still here in the state. And so I was able to do a virtual appointment with her, and I told her all the stuff, and she's very woo-woo and out there. And she said to me, Nina, none of this, your kidney issue is not a physical issue. Maybe it's coming up in the blood work, but it's an emotional, mental type issue. You need to see an energy healer and heal the energy, work with energy to shift this. And so that's what I've been doing, and I can't tell you whether it's worked yet, but it inspired me to come here today and do this particular video, because a lot of people have all kinds of symptoms. Even I was working with a client today, had symptoms she said that were related to having had COVID. Hopefully my video now won't be censored. Anyway, for having said that, but and really there were underlying things that she needed to look at, and being sick had just brought them to the surface, brought some conditions to the surface for her to look at. So anyway, let's go back to this idea of how do we heal the physical and the physical body by focusing on the emotional and the mental body. So first I want to say I am no doctor, and I cannot tell you what to do about your health. Like, I can't advise you from a legal perspective. Everything you do should be with a consult with your doctor. Okay, so I have to say that. Don't go, ignoring what the doctors are telling you, because I was here telling you that it's a physical or, emotional or a mental issue. I would say do what I did, right? So I went on thyroid medicine while I worked on the other stuff. So I addressed the problem that I thought might be affecting the most things and knew that I could go off that med later to see if I had handled the emotional and mental issues. So consult your doctor about anything you do, especially if it involves herbs, supplements, or other treatments. I am no doctor. So here are some things you can do, though. You can do some journaling to release your emotional and mental blocks. So if you know that, if you look in Louise Hay's book and you see that the fact that you have a problem with your left knee means that you're having trouble moving forward in life and expressing your feminine power, and I don't know that that's what it says. I do know that knees are about moving forward, and I know that the left side is feminine. Anyway, you could then do some journaling on that. Where do you feel like you can't express your feminine nature? Where are you struggling to move forward? Where are you not calling on your masculine energies to help you move forward? That sort of thing. So you could do some journaling. Okay. You could definitely, by the way, use Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Body, and be looking up what your symptoms are. Look at your symptom, like if you have a problem with a tooth. Like one time I fell off my bike and I broke my front tooth, and I looked to see teeth are about anger, and I was super angry that day when I was riding my bike. So you can look in Louise Hay's book and see what emotions underlie whatever ailments you're having. Okay, you could do self-hypnosis. I have talked about self-hypnosis a lot, or go to a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist and work on changing your thoughts and beliefs on a subconscious level. That is where you can actually regress yourself, be regressed to another age when something happened to you that's holding you back and that's coming up in terms of physical issues. So you can work with your younger self and kind of recreate the scenarios in a way that helps you release the emotions around it. Okay, so either go to a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, or learn self-hypnosis and do this on your own. You can also do release work. There's all kinds of emotional release work you can do that can be helpful. So I used to be, well, I'm a certified rebirther. I don't do rebirthing anymore, but that's an emotional release. Releases emotions on a variety of levels. There's something called emotional release therapy. Never tried it, but it's out there. The idea here with a release work is to become aware of what it is that's going on underneath the surface, the mental and emotional issues, and to then, once you're clear on them, to actually express them. I've seen in workshops, rubber bats or foam bats, and you take out your anger on a pillow with the bat. You can also just, if you have a lot of grief in your body, feel the grief, express it in a safe space, and then you follow up by really taking good care of yourself. So whatever you're doing, though, with release work, you want to feel safe. You want it to be a safe environment, okay? So don't do it somewhere where you feel like you'll be judged or anything like that, okay? Now, you can work with an energy healer, which is what I'm doing right now. This one I'm using, I've used a variety of them over the years, but this one I'm working with right now, I like her a lot, and I feel like she is working with all three bodies, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. She's also working on energy systems like chakra systems, all of that. And so I have a strong belief in that. I'll see whether it pans out in terms of different test results, etc., and I will keep you informed. There's also acupuncture. I go for acupuncture a lot. We have acupuncture is focused on the energy system of the body and unblocking meridians, heart meridians and things like that. So I'm a firm believer in acupuncture. I go for acupuncture on a regular basis. And like the kidney issue, I go specifically and ask for him to work on my kidneys. There's also Reiki, which is a type of energy work. So there are a lot of different energy workers out there. Reiki and cranial sacral, all kinds. So you could find any number of different energy workers who you could actually go see, and they would work on your body. Now, I have known people who have healed themselves of all sorts of things. I am still on the healing journey, but I am definitely not approaching the physical ailments I have from only a Western medicine perspective, because I believe there's more to it. Again, I'm not saying don't go to a doctor. Do go to a doctor. I constantly consult with my osteopath and with my naturopath and with my old integrative medicine doctor. I have chosen some doctors who are more open-minded and more willing to consider some other things like acupuncture. Okay, so go to a doctor. I'm on thyroid medicine, I admit it, but I changed my eating habits. I've worked with an herbalist. That's another thing you can do. So there's so many ways to approach this, but do consider that if you're having physical issues, it may not just be a physical issue. It may be an emotional issue or a mental issue. Okay, so we want to work with all those bodies, the physical, the emotional, and the mental bodies, and to be healing on all those levels. So again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just putting this out there because it was on my mind, because today I had another energy healing session, and I wanted to just say, hey, if you're struggling to heal from something, maybe it's not just a physical issue. Maybe you need to look beyond that, okay? So I would love to know if you have done any kind of healing outside of Western medicine, any type of healing modalities that really worked for you. I'd love to hear your stories of how you healed. So leave me a comment down below and tell me. I would really love to know. I am Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I love helping people step into their best self and move towards fulfilling their potential and their purpose. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach. I bring in many different modalities. A lot of people know me as a certified high performance coach. I'm also a law of attraction coach. As I mentioned, I used to do rebirthing, voice dialogue, all kinds of things. So I bring all that together into the work I do. And it's meant to just be of service to my clients in a way that helps them, as I said, step into their best self and move towards the creation of what they really desire in the world. So if that's of interest to you, click on the link above and consider joining the Inspired Creator Community, which is where I do group certified high performance coaching, my brand of spiritual coaching called Inspired Results Coaching. There are also Inspired Results trainings. I also interview experts on some of the more spiritual, metaphysical concepts. It's a lovely community of growth-minded people, people who want to be involved in spiritual and personal growth. And I would love to have you be part of that. I'd love to invite you to be part of that. So click on the link above or go on over to my site, ninaamir.com, and check out what all I have going on. Till I talk to you next time, be healthy and go out there and achieve more inspired results.